a
got a
lot to
bumper.
talk about.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Trent and Zyori podcast. This is episode number 153. This is the post TI9 episode. We're going to talk all things China, all things that happen here in Colorado for the Jungle Jam, and everything else in between. OG, spoiler alert, if you're still waiting to watch, the TI VODs have done it. The first team to win 2 internationals. An exciting time, an exciting record for those of us that are encapsulated by the Dota 2 sphere. And alas, we are here to break it all down. Trent, first and foremost, how was China, bud? How was the main stage?
Lovely. China. That was my second time to China, and I've only been to Shanghai. Same hotel, same basketball court. Easy.
There you go, dude. I saw some pics from the court that I recognized from the Super Major, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So there you go.
It was different than the last time we were there, though. Oh, well, I guess I don't know, because we weren't like the main broadcast when we were there either. But I felt like we were.
There it is. We lost it already, bud. You're Mikey. Look at that face, dude. He's so angry. Podcast listeners, this is what you get for not watching YouTube.
I know.
There you go.
I guess it's probably time to shill out for a new one of those, right?
It is time, dude. You bought a new Switch because you lost it. It's time to buy a new fucking audio mixer. I see where your priorities are, though. It's all good.
I know. That's actually exactly what I'm trying to figure out now. Is I just went through the realization, like, I got the new Switch. All my save data's there. It's all saved in the cloud. Bless the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
But then I remembered, fuck, I lost my 256 gigabyte SD card, and that's the one that really gets me because I got it on sale for like $40, and it was really nice.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I hear
but that's
that.
okay. That's all right. I got the save data. I don't have to like grind all the Smash shit again. I'm pleased.
Yeah, I mean, thank the cloud, honestly. That's so much
Bless.
more valuable than the Switch. All the hours logged on that progress. Like, fuck, you used to work TI. I think you can treat yourself to a Switch,
Well, the worst part was that the first Switch, I didn't even pay. Well, I used my food card from last TI to pay for my Switch because I just ate the free food in the hotel. Like, I would walk to the other hotel where there was free food because there wasn't food in our actual hotel. But we had a credit card we could use for food instead. It had like $500 on it. But you know me and my desire for free food.
Yes.
Well, then the event ends, and I just have this card, and I'm just like, what do I do with this? And they're just like, well, some people buy new shirts or suits or stuff they need for work. I was like, oh, yeah. So I bought a Switch because I didn't have one.
Okay, there you go. Well, maybe there's a couple cents left over to
Thanks,
chip
Val.
towards a mixer, but that's good. Hey, Val, thanks for helping me support Nintendo with that money you gave me. That was really generous of you.
Exactly. Then I lost that Switch, so now I actually had to pay for one. So, karma in the end did get me.
There you go. There you go. Of course, this podcast is brought to you by Rivalry. I now have this beautiful mug to show off.
Whoa, really?
Dude, hell yes. We had these at the TI9 Jungle Jam, and I realized, it just occurred to me, usually when we do events that we're not at together, you still get to watch a little bit of it. This is a case where not only were you on another time zone, but watching Twitch from China is not always the easiest thing in the world. So, we had these set up. Of course, Rivalry, the folks that made the Jungle Jam possible, they were like the primary sponsor. They sponsored all that content. They brought Renessa there, so we had an extra set of hands on deck to hold down the fort. It was an awesome event and actually would not have happened without Rivalry. So seriously, we thank them. Hopefully some of you at home played along with the Thunderdome. If you're not in a jurisdiction where you can gamble, Rivalry still has that guarantee going where if you register and you make that first bet up to $25 or 25 euros, whatever it is, they got you covered in case you lose it. So you get that first bet for free. And of course, you can follow on the Twitch stream there down below, the Thunderdome. There will be some stuff coming up, and you can make some predictions and win some straight cash. So it's pretty cool. But for real, gold standard of betting. They help make a lot of esports stuff possible. They are some of the good guys in the esports sphere, just trying to make a living for themselves. So they're giving it back, gang. They're giving it back. Please support. Anyway, back to the show. Mr. Trent Pax, can we just talk about OG for a moment? Can we open this with like the big achievement? I mean, so many hours have been spent across so many podcasts talking about who will be the first team to do it. So many people thought it would be Liquid. It's insane that the finals set up that storyline either way. Game 1, we knew guaranteed a new record was going to be broken. That's fucking sick. I used to say, what's going to top the International 3? That is the dream finals. It doesn't get better than that. Bitch, we done got better. We got way better.
Yeah, we got last year's finals, and then we had OG stomping TI again. Frankly, like they just looked better than everyone. It was kind of ridiculous. I opened up that morning. I think it was the panel in between the lower bracket final and the grand final, and Shivers said some comment where she was like, "And we're just set for such an amazing final." And kind of without thinking, I just went, "You think?" I was just like, "I think OG might 3-0 them. I think a 3-1's likely, but I think they're gonna get stopped." I got so many DMs, and I saw people flaming the shit out of me on Reddit.
Wow.
I was getting like, "Oh, this fucking Morad fake jibba jibba jibba." Dude, OG bopped them.
You sniped
I'm
it, dude.
sorry. Like Liquid, the OG's just like up there. They're just gone. I don't know what happens at TI, but they were like, "See a secret. I know you've been dominating all year. Bye." And there was OG, man.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, couldn't be a better group that I'd like to see win it twice. I thought the whole winning a minor, winning a major thing was going to be the amazing achievement this year. I did not expect the 2-time repeat.
Yeah. I don't think anybody really did. That seems like such a ballsy thing to call. You know, I don't remember any analysts like staunchly saying, "You guys are all idiots. OG is going to win their second TI 100% all in." Like, I wonder what were the odds on that looking
9x,
back?
I was going to say. I remember they were the same odds as TNC because we looked it up before TI.
Yeah.
I mean, 9x. Damn.
9x.
I know there's some thirsting OG fans out there are really happy, I'm sure.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. So, of course, Liquid, second place, still a pretty admirable finish. Makes you wonder what the future of that team is going to look like, especially now with Weehaw there. Pretty solid performance, some big-time money being won. I doubt they'll roster shuffle. I hope they don't roster shuffle. I want to see this squad get a little more time to really develop.
I mean, they came second at Epicenter and then TI. If Weehaw gets kicked and they replace him, I just feel terrible for that guy.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Me too.
Give it some time, man.
I mean, his earnings now is up to 2.1 million just in prize pool alone. So I think Wee's doing pretty well. He's one of those, like, he could retire tomorrow and be pretty fucking comfortable. So, wow.
But, yeah, I guess where do we begin with TI? Well, I guess I know absolutely zero about what happened with the Jungle Jam.
All right.
I have no idea what happened.
So the Jungle Jam was pretty cool, and I guess a lot of people are interested. I've gotten some questions and comments about, like, was it a success? We hyped up a lot of stuff with it being experimental kind of in nature. So overall, I'm glad we did it. I was also very relieved to see that TI was announced on a time zone not in Asia for next year, so that there is not pressure for us to do this again, because we did not make money. We definitely lost money on this event, which we expected to. The whole idea was, hey, we've got Midas mode. This budget looks okay for now. We can siphon off a little bit of money from Midas mode to pay for whatever's left over in the Jungle Jam. So we weren't expecting to, like, make money off of it, but it was a really tight event. I was the talent manager, the host, the coordinator with production, the coordinator with the set designer, the coordinator with merch, and basically the go-to guy for everything. So I had a lot on my plate. It was definitely not the normal experience for talent. I think we successfully built it and made the atmosphere like a party. That was how I got everybody into it. I said, guys, imagine this like a free vacation that you're getting paid for, where we're going to get to play a lot of games, drink some booze, watch TI, and talk about it. So everybody was into that. The talent did an exceptional job staying spoiler-free. I couldn't believe the dedication that everyone had. Shane was making jokes about waking up and checking LinkedIn in the morning because he didn't have any other social medias that were safe. Yeah, I mean, serious, and a lot of them were strategic, where I would post the schedule at night, so talent would just watch the games that they weren't covering if they were really trying to fiend. So everyone, like, held true to not spoiling themselves for what they were casting, but would watch the other stuff when they were just kind of gaming and hanging out. So the venue was cool. Having the PCs there definitely helped a lot. That's one way to keep talent happy. We did DoorDash, BTS style, and got Chipotle every day. Literally every day.
All right.
That was a favorite amongst the talent. Day one was awful, though. That whole idea of covering the group stage matches and like just doing the best of it, mixing in content, it was shitty for two reasons. One, doing that much content was hard. Like, it was stressful trying to move the set around and get everything set up like game to game. And two, everybody knew what was happening in the matches. There was no hype. There was no, like, we couldn't even pretend it was interesting because the games had happened like 4 days ago and been all over Reddit and like, you know,
Right.
there was, it just wasn't interesting. It was too far gone where people were already like, yeah, that's old news. We don't want to watch this again. So if I could do day one over, I probably would have done less content. I think all the viewers came in like the 2 or 3 hours leading up to TI. The whole like first half of the day was just wasted of 500 viewers, 800 viewers watching us cast really shitty games. So it was off to a slow start, but by the end we got the hang of it. It was a lot of fun. It was a cool group of talent. Now there's a story I'm going to tell here that you're not going to believe, Trent, and I don't think you've actually. This is a good one. All right.
All right.
But before I say that, the real value of this event was getting to do something before Midas Mode at this venue. We learned a lot, right? It is so rare that you get to do like a full dress rehearsal basically at a venue before you get to do your big event. You know, usually the venue's booked and that's like the whole thing is the time and the load in and all that shit. And you straight up can't replicate it. And in this case, the venue has it all set up already. So there was so much value just in working with this new crew, learning where the gaps are, figuring out stuff for Midas Mode so we can kind of preemptively get ahead of it. It was a little steamy. Air conditioning was not sufficient. That was definitely the major complaint. So classic Moonduck, you're either freezing or you're melting. Yep. So we were very on brand, bud.
That's good. That's good. Glad to hear it.
Okay, so this story, right? I don't even know how. I think this is one where I'm going to spoil it and then tell how it happened, okay? So Black was there as talent. He broke his arm at the viewing party on the last day.
Black broke his arm? Didn't he?
Black broke his arm.
His arm right after TI last year, and he missed an opportunity like going to Newbie and shit.
Yeah, the one that's right above your elbow, the really big one that's really hard to break. So this happened. So on the last day, right, we did our coverage of the second to last day of TI, and then it morphs straight into a viewing party. Right? So a lot of people are showing up. Actually, the most people showed up for the viewing party. It turns out most people just want to watch TI live and on the normal time zone. So on the last day,
that makes sense.
You know, the seating was like 30, 40, 50% full. And then by like the last series, it was pretty full. And then when we started the TI stream, it was actually full. Every seat was taken, right? So it's like 9:30, 9:15 p.m. Mountain Time. So like it's still the pre-show. The matches haven't even started yet. So Black comes in. I think he had been at the hotel. I'm pretty sure. So he had come up and he walks into the fan area. And we had encouraged all the talent to interact with fans. You know, there aren't that many people here. Like, hey, if you guys are off series, just go sit with them and chat with them. They'll be really excited to meet you. So a lot of other talent were there. So he comes walking in. There was this guy wearing a Liquid jersey who had been sitting in the front row all day. Very friendly guy. He had been talking to Suns fan for hours. He'd been talking to Unsol for a while because she was there. He was chatting everybody up. I had met him. Relatively buff. I think he was from Kuwait. He was an exchange student. Super interesting story. Super interesting background. Right? He's getting everybody's signature. So Black comes in, comes up, introduces him immediately. And the guy notices that Black has a bunch of muscle and he's been working out and says, hey, we should arm wrestle. And Black says, okay, let's go. And they start arm wrestling.
Sounds like Black.
So I'm not there when this whole thing starts, but I kind of walk by. The beer place where you get beers was right outside the entrance of where they were arm wrestling. So I was just getting a beer, and I'm walking in, and I walk by and go, oh, look, arm wrestling. I snap a picture and then turn and walk away and then walk up to the stage and then go into the back area, right? So I go into the back. I don't know. I just kind of walking around. I come back around, and I hear this commotion, and someone says, he just broke his arm. I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ, here we go. So I kind of walk over, like, what's going on? And Black's just holding his, like, kind of under his arm with his hand out like this, just clearly in pain, making that face. And he's just staring at it, and he just says, it's broken. It's broken. And I'm like, all right. So everyone starts freaking out. The fans that were around, like, kind of cheering him on are fucking flipping their shit. They're all... like, if I was standing up, I could imitate. They're like walking back and forth. They're scratching their head. They're pulling their face. Like, do I call 911? I'm like, don't call 911 yet. Let's assess. So at first, I don't believe it's broken. I think that there's like, you know, a tendon popped or, you know, maybe he dislocated his shoulder, something like that. I'm not denying he's in pain, but like, I'd be surprised if his arm's actually broken. So we come over, he's doing all this stuff. Carlo walks by and goes, "You should call a Lyft. Ambulances are way too expensive. Lifts are cheap." So I call Lyft immediately. Turns out there's an emergency care place like 3 kilometers south. So super close. So it's coming. We're walking around outside. He's kind of just holding his arm. The beer lady takes all the beer out of one of the tubs that's filled with ice and says, "Well, do you want to dump it in the ice?" And he goes, "Okay." So he's just resting his arm in ice. I'm just standing there waiting for the lift. The lift arrives. The fan gets in. Black gets in. The guy that he was arm wrestling, and they just leave and go to the emergency room. And that's it. So
that's the last you ever saw of Black?
No. So there is a little more to the story, but that was kind of it for the night. So he goes, and then they end up going around. First, they think that he needs surgery. Doctors are saying that they need to put like a metal plate in to set it. Of course, like he's a foreigner, so like insurance in America is like a whole big thing. And I guess nobody really wanted to do the procedure, so they were encouraging him to go back to Singapore to do it. But he was concerned he wouldn't be able to fly because the pain was really bad and all this kind of stuff. So it's this whole ordeal, but I'm like still at the event trying to manage it. And he had a manager there who eventually went to go deal with it, but it's still a whole kerfluffle. Apparently the arm wrestling got pretty intense, and they just pushed it to the absolute limit. And straight up, he broke his humerus. And apparently, like 10 seconds before it happened, one of the people watching was saying, like, "Dude, stop right now or your arm is going to break. Like, you're going to break your arm if you keep going." And then it actually happened. And it's just like, fuck, dude.
Oh, that guy is just going to be like the biggest know-it-all for the rest of their life now, by the way. But,
dude,
I mean, I guess well-earned, But
I mean,
still.
I feel so bad for the fan. That guy was so nice, and I know he didn't mean to hurt Black, and it's definitely a multi-blame kind of scenario. I think Black agreed pretty easily. It wasn't like he was super peer pressured or something, or like whatever else. They were both contributors, but still, I mean, that guy felt awful. Apparently he came back. I didn't stay for the whole finals. I had to call tonight by like 3 a.m. But Suns fans said that he came back and was like mega depressed. Like he came back, but then just sat in the back and just stared at the ground and refused to watch the games because he was so upset. And Shannon was like trying to cheer him up and said that he was like, "Well, dude, don't ruin the finals for yourself now. You can't change what happened." And he was just like, apparently the guy's coming. He said he's coming back to Midas mode. So we might get to interview this guy and talk to him and get the follow-up story here. Now, this would be private, but I bring it up for 2 reasons. One, Black's wife tweeted something very salty trying to shift the blame to Moonduck somehow. So she's made it public already, which is why I don't feel so bad. I'm not going to say what her Twitter is if you don't know already, in the nature of not doxing someone. But
that's fine.
I do not appreciate the public slander saying that I somehow had something wrong to do here. I think we handled the situation as best we could. It's pretty fucking shitty. And number 2, he's a pro player. He tweeted at Complexity he's looking for a team. I saw him like 5 days ago and his arm was in a cast. So, like, I mean, we're talking like 3 to 5 months to heal. He can move his fingers, but like, I mean, it's his full arm, dude. It's fucked. That's a serious injury. It's a serious injury. So, take it for what it is. I had to rebook his flight.
Jungle, bitch.
We paid him another flight or another night we paid for another night in the hotel so he could stay a bit longer. Tried to accommodate it, but I mean, his manager asked me, "Have you ever heard of something like this before?" I was like, "Fucking no, man. Most people that make their livelihood from using their hands are way more careful with their fucking hands. I don't, Wow.
That's like, so, and my preparation for TI was not Dota. Well, okay, it was Dota, but I also played a lot of basketball leading up to TI because I knew the court was there at the hotel. So we had basketball every night. We kicked out the tennis people at like 10 p.m. And so then we had the court. So you had to like wheel out these basketball nets. That was the hardest part of the whole night. But for example, as Leighton Dota's pointing out, Sumail will come out to play basketball. Do you think I ever tried to block Sumail shooting a fucking 3? I don't think so. You think I'm going to be the guy that fucking bops one of Sumail's fingers?
Yeah.
No. Not a chance. When it's my turn to pick players and Sumail's sitting there, I go, "I'll take Sumail. Yep, I'll take Sumail because I'm not guarding him. There's no way I'm putting that on me, dude."
Yeah,
Like,
I hear you on that. I had
I'm
similar
surprised
thoughts.
they even played.
Yeah, I had similar thoughts before when we were at the Super Major, and that was like not even TI. At TI, that's almost unbelievable.
Yeah, there were not a lot of players, and frankly, a lot of them didn't show up until they were eliminated. So I
Okay.
think they were being quite wise with their fingers.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. But yeah, so that was the Jungle Jam in a nutshell for me.
Wow.
I'm gonna send you a screenshot here, bud. There you go.
Oh, excellent. I love screenshots. Ah, thank you, thank you.
Oh wow, it felt good to get that out though. That was a lot of. It was funny because Gary was there and he walked up to me like after it happened, not being aware of anything, and it was as his hand was in the ice bucket, and I'm just standing there holding my phone, waiting for the lift, and he goes, "Oh, what's going on, mate?" I was like, "Black just broke his arm, and I'm waiting for the lift to take him to the hospital." And he said, "Oh, right on." He said, "Right then, all right," and just walked away, just straight up ditched. He was like, "Right, sure." And he told me later, he was just like, the first thought I had was just like, oh man, that's really going to ruin Andrew's night right there. And I didn't want to get infected. I was like, fair enough, dude. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I probably would have done the same thing, to be fair.
Oh, jeez.
Gary was fucking great, though. So much
I
fun
bet.
with Gary B.
I know. Gary's my favorite.
He's a real treasure. I wish we saw him at more events, dude. He's like actually top tier. He's starting to do that capitalist thing where he's like immortal now. So he is actually a pretty good analyst. Like he understands what's happening in Dota pretty darn well. He's good at talking about it. He's got the presentation because he's fucking British, and he's actually really good at play-by-play. He's got the full package and the content. Did you see any of the content that we did, Trent?
I only saw the B team trailer with Suns fans gut, and I knew it was gonna peak right there.
Okay.
So I pretty much stopped there.
That was a pretty good call. Yeah, that was a good little piece of content. We experimented with putting it on Twitter natively instead of it being on YouTube, and that was kind of cool. I think we're going to do that a little bit more often, so it's easier to just like retweet and make like Twitter the main vehicle. Because I don't know, man. Fuck YouTube. I'm getting over it. Twitter's like the only social media I give a shit about these days. Everything else sucks. We did do some fun stuff with Rivalry, though. If there's one content piece I would recommend going back and watching if you missed it, was the charades. That one was top tier. That was my big claim to fame. I'm biased. I think they're all on the Rivalry YouTube channel, actually.
Okay.
But so we were broken into four teams of three, and the charades was 2 teams versus 2 teams. So it was the only event that was like a mixture. So it was 3 people guessing, 1 person acting. I was acting, and my man, I sniped it. Now, the other team, they fucked up. They didn't come up with a code. So we had a code for like, like this was hero, pointing at you. The body was like a personality. Hands moving outward is a spell. Pointing at your hand is an item. So we had a system, but the joke was that anytime they'd say male or female, it would point to my dick. And seemingly every time I did that, Gary would be inspired and figure out the answer. So that became the joke. Zyori points to dick, Gary B figures out answer. We really bonded.
See. Okay, I'm looking at all these videos.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, some were better than others.
Grave by Gabe, Sunsfan and Brax versus Shane and Gareth.
So that's Trial by Trolley. Same concept, but instead it's Dota-related stuff.
I don't even know what Trial by Trolley is.
Oh, so it's a new board game. I think the Kickstarter just finished, so it's not out yet.
Yeah, Sunset was telling me about it.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like there's 2 paths, and the train can go either way, and each side there's a good thing and a bad thing, and like a middle thing, and no matter which way it goes, those things get destroyed. So you have to argue of like, okay, is it better to kill Hitler, but we also lose Jesus, or is it better to kill Stalin, but we also lose, the Queen of England or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I see. Okay. All right. And you have to debate about it. Okay.
Yeah. So
I really like the costumes I'm seeing here from the Jungle Jam. The set looks great.
Yep. Set designer sniped it again. Same person that put together Midas Mode, and we'll also do Midas Mode 2.
Hype? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check out some of these. How was, so tell me about zfreek and Bowie. How did they do?
Bowie fucking sniped it, dude. He
I figured he would. It's so up his alley. Like he's basically doing what he usually does, but in like a LAN environment, right?
Yeah. Pretty much. The hard part for him was the sleep schedule because he kind of had to watch the games live to make the content. And he still wanted to do some stuff on panel, but he kind of just got on this cycle where he just rotated and slept whenever he got really tired, and it sort of worked out. He stayed afterwards for a couple of days because he wanted to just tour around Denver and stuff. So he crashed at the house, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed Bowie a lot. He still has that like early event charm, you know, like it. He's so young and innocent. He just wants to do anything. He's just like, what the duck? Oh, I'm in 100%. I'm coming right now. You know, he just has that. I love it. It's not a flame at all. I miss it. I wish I still had that enthusiasm and energy of just like, I'm just so fucking excited to be here. I will do whatever you need me to do to make the show great, boss. That's the fucking attitude. So I want to work with Bowie as much as we can. I want to find a way to make that sort of content work. I definitely made him sell out pretty hard for malware bites. I don't know if you saw any of the clips, but I thought the plugs were hysterical. I thought they were fluid. I loved it. He just opened and closed with a little malware bites analogy. Like, today we're going to look at this team fight where Team Secret just wasn't enough to defeat evil geniuses. Just like a traditional antivirus is not enough to defeat today's problems. Or today's threats, rather. You know, shit like that. Let's get into it. It's very, very cool. Malware Bites was definitely a fan. They saw some of it. They thought it was nice. It was a little warm-up here for Midas Mode. So mission accomplished on the Bowie front. Zfreek was also awesome. It's always like a little nerve-wracking with how players are going to interface with talent because it's a little bit different. And it is a crazy struggle because they have the opposite problem. We all have the outward, like, extroverted, we can talk forever, but we don't always know what we're talking about. Zfreek extensively knows what he's talking about, but generally he's like a kind of a guy, a few words. You know, he's not like this crazy extrovert that's just going to talk your ear off forever. So it was interesting, like, watching Suns fan try to chat with him a little bit, but there were a couple times where we were playing games and Shannon just like pointed right at him and said, dude, just do this on the panel. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, talk at this volume when the microphone's in front of your face. He's like, am I really that quiet on panel? And Shannon was like, yeah, man. Like, it sounds like you're talking like this or you're like whispering. Just fucking get excited. Use it, dude. You got the volume. Let's see it. So Zfreek was awesome. He was a lot of fun. We played a lot of like werewolf and board games and stuff off camera, and he was a lot of fun with that shit as well. It's always good to have somebody who's like a pro player there when you have PCs and you can play pubs too, because they're fun to play with, and they're also fun to watch play, and it's also fun to play and have them make fun of you as you fail.
That is the best part, truly.
All three of those scenarios are actually pretty fucking awesome.
Some of my absolute favorite memories from LANs would be like, usually there's not like spare PCs when you go to LAN. But I can remember there were a couple at ESL and Genting, but they were in the makeup room. So anytime that pro players needed some sort of content thing done, they would have to bring them into the makeup room. There'd always be 3 or 4 of them. They'd only do one at a time. So you'd have the players sitting.
Yeah.
And his 3 friends are there waiting for their turn for makeup. And Owen would just always be playing pubs at ESL and Genting because he only did like 1 series a day, if that, because he didn't do any paneling. He only cast. And they would all just go behind Owen and just fucking rip whatever his build was. And it would always be so good.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and then there was one game where he was doing some dumbass build, and he was like, "No, it's actually good." And he was like trying to convince the pro player. So then in one of the games later in the tournament, I can't remember what it was. It was like some Slark item, and then the guy actually bought it on Slark later because they were already gonna win. But it was pretty clearly because of Owen. It was pretty funny.
That's pretty good. Owen's great with that too, because he'll actually engage. Like, a lot of people will clam up or like, you know, oh god, they're watching me. Owen will just dish it right back. So what are you talking
he'll
about?
Fight for his right. I want to say it was. Well, I know that on that ESL 1 Genting stage, one day he rushed Aghanims on Slark. I remember that game. Yeah, we won that one. No thanks to Owen.
No thanks to Owen.
So that's an Owen classic. We tried to play some games in Shanghai, but they've changed the Perfect World account setup.
Really?
So now you need a Chinese phone number in order to play on Perfect World now. So that was a little frustrating. And
that sucks.
Yeah, so anyone that had a Perfect World account like 2 years ago before they made that is grandfathered in. But because I had never been to China until Super Major, and it was like 2 months before Super Major this law came into effect or whatever, I don't have a Perfect World account. But if my party leader has one, it's fine. We can queue in China and stuff. We figured that out on the very last day, unfortunately.
Is it the same account, but it just like has Perfect World attached to it, or is it actually a separate account you have to set up?
It's the same account. It's just like you have to do the launch option - Perfect World, and then it takes you into the China client, so then you can queue onto Perfect World.
Okay. I don't know
so
if
that
I've done
works.
that.
So like you would be fine because if you ever played a game in China, which I would guess you probably did.
I think so. Because I've had this conversation with people before, and I'm pretty sure one time when I was there for BTS or something, because I've cast a lot of China games where we had to host lobbies and shit.
Exactly. Yeah, you probably have a Perfect World account then.
But there were also times where we had a company account that we used also that LD set up. So I can't remember. 50-50. But damn, that really sucks, dude.
That's okay. So we played some in-houses. That was fun. Played some in-houses with Dendy.
Oh.
Got carried. It was good.
Yeah. Was he toxic as fuck?
No, of course he wasn't. He was fucking Dendy. He was just super psyched up. He was playing Queen of Pain. I just ran around the map the entire time bloodlusting him while we were diving people under towers. It was great. In-houses are really fun when you're winning and just screaming at the people on the other side of the room because we actually had a full LAN room, which was amazing at Shanghai. So shout out to Thad, our boy. He was the guy who got it. Thank you so much.
Dude.
Love it very much. I'll have to thank him again for that. But we had a room, like one of the function rooms at the hotel, and it was just like 30 ROG laptops.
Wow.
Very nice specs, all like 1080 plus or whatever the fuck. Amazing laptops. And the room was just ours, and it was open 24/7. There was always a security guard up front. All you do was show your badge in the hotel, and we could just game.
That's
so
sick.
The place was used for Mafia, for board games. We took the Melee setup down there, so we had Melee in there. Dude. So we actually had like that central hub when you weren't at the arena, which is like the godsend when it comes to LANs.
It makes a big difference because it makes
huge.
it feel less torturous.
Exactly. Like, you're not just holed up in your hotel room, or you're not trying to figure out when everyone's going down to eat or whatever. You're not like wondering what everyone's doing. Like, everyone's in the same spot.
So we kind of did that. The hotel we stayed at had suite. It was like a suites only hotel, so less rooms, and the rooms were bigger because some people were sharing. But they only had one central place, like where they do breakfast, and we just commandeered it at night. Like I would just DoorDash dinner there, and we would just sit on all the tables and stuff, and that's where we played most of our games. And apparently on the last night, they switched staff, and they told our group that they weren't allowed to play there anymore because there were noise complaints the days prior. But we got through like 90% of the event playing Werewolf and blowing up the hotel. But I always wondered, like, what did the passerbys think that were just walking through or walking by? Because Werewolf is so, like, Mafia is a little more intense. Werewolf, you have these moments where everyone's just sitting there in a circle quietly with their eyes closed, listening to this like radio thing in a creepy voice, and then we all just start yelling at each other, and then it goes silent, and then we all start yelling at each other, and then it goes silent, and then we all
they would be pretty confused, I would think.
Like, just what would they think? Like, I can't even imagine what the theories would be to like create that social scenario where it's just like, what are they? Are they praying? Like, what the fuck are they doing? What are they so mad about? Why? Like. Because it gets pretty hype. And like Malistrix fucked up a couple times, or like looked at his card, or like said, "I'm the witch." Okay, well, what did you see? Well, I didn't do my thing. Why not? I forgot. Well, then why are you fucking playing, dog? You know, like there are moments where it gets pretty fucking heated. So
they were playing Mafia again. The Mafia was back,
dude.
So
I wanted to play Mafia, but no one else did. Everyone wanted to play One Night instead.
I personally would prefer One Night if I was gonna play. I don't think I can handle the hour-long Mafia games.
So Mafia's intense, but like it is fun in small doses. I wanted to play just
that
like,
I could agree with.
I wanted to play a couple rounds. I haven't played it in a few years, and I'm like, I'm jonesing. I think I'll get over it quick, but I definitely want to play a few with. I want to. Oh, I can't announce the talent yet for Midas Mode, but I want to play with the Midas Mode talent crew. I'm excited. I think that would be fun. Also, I would be remiss if I did not give a shout out to our observer, Mr. Pop-Tart
David.
Yo, Dave was legit, man. He stepped it up this event. He was the sole observer. He had some 4 best-of-3 days. He was definitely pretty juiced by the end. He was in some content. I didn't realize him and Jenkins had some history. It was pretty funny. Jenkins just kept railing him. It's good.
Yeah, from King's Cup.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, David's the man, dude. The guy just showed up. I remember, like, the first time he just showed up, I was like, so you guys just, like, I was talking to Dakota, and I was like, so you guys just, like, found this dude, and you're just going to try him out as an observer? And he's like, yeah. I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? He's like, yeah, I don't know. He seems like he'll probably be all right. And he was just good. I mean, David was just good right from the start. I was like, this is amazing. Like, we don't have the OBS anymore. We're all just chilling back and paneling. David's great. That's a fucking snipe. Like, zero issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 0 issue people are my favorite of the people.
Like, there are some, like, tips and tricks and little things you can do to min-max, but observing is one of those things that just kind of comes by feel. It's really hard to explain to people that are bad. And, like, as someone who used to be really bad and now I can do OBS decently well, I I don't know how to explain it. You just have to. It just clicks at a certain point, and you can just start to understand the flow of the game better and not miss action. I don't know any other way. It's sort of like Tetris. People are like, well, how do you not suck at Tetris? I'm like, you just fucking put them together, man. I don't know how to explain it. You just suck. Put them all to the side. Put the sticks on the long side. Fucking save up for Tetrises. What do you want? I can tell you the strategy, but you still suck.
Oh.
But yeah, I think this is exciting. I think we're going to bring David back for Midas mode, even though we are going to have Pimp Muckle there. I think twofold. We definitely want to be able to mix it up a little bit, so we're not just grinding the hell out of one person. And two, I think we're going to have Pimp Muckle doing a lot of production stuff with Layer, shit like that.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I'm still good.
We'll get to see David again, dude.
Excellent. I look forward to it.
Trent, I want to confess one more thing about the Jungle Jam. I realized that this was the first event that we've done that was like a true Moonduck event that did not have Slacks at it. Pretty much every other like actual Moonduck event, like Slacks has been our guy. For so long in his career, he was kind of like a reject talent where you could count on him as like he's always going to be there because he doesn't get invited to that many events. Now it's fucking opposite, dude. He's going to every single event, and there's a Moonduck event. It's like, sorry guys, I got to go to TI and make some real money. Like, damn, even Slacks is saying that to me now. This is brutal, and I totally took for granted the energy that he brings to a set, and you can see it on camera, right? Obviously, when he's on panels, he brings people up and he asks good questions and he keeps things interesting, but it's the off-camera shit that really matters. Like the stuff that we do in the green room, the amount of content that is born from the brainstorming in the green room and the crazy ideas, but his antics and laughter is infectious.
Is he gone
dude.
yet? Still here?
Yeah. Oh,
I think he's gone.
He might have.
I think he ran. I saw he was in the chat earlier, but he's probably gone by now. Slacks, are you there?
He's pretty sick, so he might have fallen asleep. He's had the fever flu for a couple days, but he brings everyone else up, and it took me like I felt like that douchey guy at ESL from 5 years ago that's coming in between every panel segment, going energy, come on guys, energy, everybody smile, upbeat. Like, but there were a couple panels I did where I'm just like, fucking Christ, guys, we all sleeping here? What are we doing? We need some Red Bulls? And they're all kind of like, I know what happens in this game. It's not that interesting. Like, all right, well, fuck. I don't want this to be the Zyori show, but you guys gotta. So it's like you need that energy on and off set just to keep everybody, like, get them amped up before they go on camera. If you don't have that, and it's just everybody sitting there in the green room reading their phones and they go on camera, that same energy is what translates. It's just everybody on panel reading their phones and looking at each other.
Well, we were blessed this TI because Slacks, if you know Slacks and you're at an event with Slacks, you usually see him a lot. Like ESL events, the guy just fucking lives in the green room the entire time playing on a PlayStation, right? And then the last like 2 or 3 days during the actual crowd days, he's just out. He's out there. He's doing his thing. Slacks is super busy. At TI, you never see Slacks. He is like an enigma. He's a mystery. I don't know where he goes every TI, but I'll see him on the screen, and then sometimes I'll see him running by with a camera crew, and he's just busy the entire time. This TI, Slacks was being a little mole man. He was fucking hiding. He was just like, guys, there's no crowd out there. I've talked to the same Norwegians 3 days in a row. I don't see any other English speakers. I don't know what to do. So I actually got to hang out with Slacks for once. It was pretty fun. He brought that energy in the green room, and we needed it, man. It was good.
Wow.
The TI hype with Slacks, it was fun. You never get to have Slacks. I remember one time we were walking to a panel, and someone was supposed to, I think Blitz was supposed to be on the panel, according to the schedule, but he was casting right before, right? So I'm looking at the schedule as we're walking there. I'm like, guys, Blitz isn't going to be able to be on this panel. He's not going to be there. And Slacks is just kind of standing in some random hallway talking to Valve people. And I just go, Slacks, panel, let's go. And he's like, okay. Like, you can't do that, TI. Slacks is usually so busy. And I just fucking grab him. We take him outside to like the deck outdoor panel, and we just have Slacks on the panel. Like, I don't know. It was nice actually seeing him for once. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trent, I got to do an announcement. Slacks just sent me all caps fucking PogChamp. We just signed a new sponsor for Midas Mode that I can't reveal right now, but I can assure the audience they will be so beyond stoked. So prepare yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. More Midas Mode announcements are coming.
Can you give me the letter it starts with to tease them?
Huh?
Oh, okay. All right. You're just gonna send it to me. Oh,
I don't know
okay.
how
Yeah,
to tease that.
you definitely cannot tell them the letter.
Yeah, I don't know how to
Yeah.
tease it. I don't know how
Yeah,
to tease
it's
it because I
yeah,
think everything I could think of would just be a dead tell. But
yeah.
God, it feels good, dude. This is so exciting. Oh, that was the one we needed, dude. We
Well,
had a
we needed
sponsor
that.
drop out.
I gotta say that meeting last night was a little uh-oh.
Oh, dude, we
People
had a
are
sponsor
dropping.
drop out. We had a full team meeting, and it was definitely one of those guys. If we don't get another one, the budget's a little bit tight. We spent a lot of money on some things. That fucking interview robot there, Trent, that thing arrived in the mail. That was a pretty big purchase. So this one keeps our budget alive. Oh my God. Feels good, dude. That's a big relief there. Please be
Yay.
Chipotle.
Laughs all around.
I do want to try to get a Chipotle sponsor, though, for real. I think Chipotle is, like, so up our alley, dude. Our talent would shill so hard. We would actually take part of that sponsorship in product. No lie.
Yeah, I could agree.
I really would. It's such a safe event food because at least it's vegetables and meat. You know, you can kind of customize it to be, like, a non-diuretic, which is pretty good. Everybody but Moxie and Lawrence liked the Chipotle every day. They were the two Chipotle haters.
So while you were oh, he just told the whole Midas group. Oh yeah, that's a lot of all caps. He's very excited.
Yeah, he's fucking.
While you were shoveling all that Chipotle down your gullet, were you thinking of me in the Shangri-La with that buffet? Because I can tell you, the Turkish guy was there again. Oh, sorry, the Lebanese guy was there again making shawarmas.
Dude,
I
still have like fantasies about that's the closest to heaven I've ever been. I probably consumed way too much arsenic and mercury from all that seafood, but fuck, was it good? Binging on sashimi every single fucking meal.
Yeah, it was good.
I saw pictures from Shiver. Shiver's Instagram was both a delight and a pain for me this event. She posted some great pictures, made me feel like I was there, and also reminded me of what I was missing, man. Fucking stung a little, won't lie.
Yeah.
Taste of the sweet life.
The big one. It's the painful one. It's the one that breaks people.
Yeah.
So you just made your own event and said, fuck it.
Said, fuck it. I'm going to make my own and order Chipotle. We're the B team. Oh, my. So, anyway, I forget what we were talking about before that. You want to talk about new heroes real quick, though? You stoked about these Noogie burgers? What is it? Snapfire and Void Spirit? Grandma and
Snapfire and Void Spirit, yeah.
Grandma and Enigma Part 2?
I really like Snapfire. That hero looks cool. I don't know. I love these, like, what are they, the Keens?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what they're called?
Yep.
I don't know. They all look really funny. So I have to say, fucking Shiver. So, like, I think I was on the panel for some announcement last year too, and they won't tell you what it is. So we were like, oh, it's got to be the hero, right? It's either going to be the hero or it's going to be the place next year. And we were pretty sure it was going to be the hero that they were going to reveal to us. So they show the hero, and it comes back to us, and she was like, that looks like the dragon. She's like basically saying that it looks exactly like the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon, and it really did.
It does. We said the same thing.
It's like identical.
Yeah.
Toothless, right? I think is its name.
I think so, yeah.
It was just so funny that she was on like the Valve reveal. She's like, "It's Toothless." Now Haas is sitting in the little chair next to her. He's looking at her. He's going like this.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was actually making that face off camera.
That's actually so fucking funny, dude.
Such an Haas thing to do to like actually be, be concerned about it. I mean, nothing's gonna happen, but it was great.
Yeah, it is dangerous territory, though. That's
it is really close.
No, I thought that video was really good, though. I don't know what that art style is called. I guess it's just a form of SFM, but I would watch a whole Dota movie like that. That animation style.
It was Max who did them. That's why he wasn't in the short film contest.
But like, dude, for real? Like
yeah.
A 90-minute movie, like that whole Timbersol Chakram and shit, like 300 style with the close-ups. That shit was badass. If there was like a plot and it was like a real Dota lore fucking movie, 100% I would watch it. Like that would be such a cool project. I want to Valve. I know you listen to this podcast. All right, I want to see this. I want to see a full movie, full feature length. We're gonna one up that shitty Warcraft movie.
Oh, I've been corrected. Max only did the Void Spirit. I assumed he did both. He did not do Snapfire. Thank you. All right, I've been corrected.
Okay.
Good to know. I don't know who did the maybe Valve did the Snapfire one because it felt very Valve-ish. It reminded me
Yeah.
of the TF2 videos.
Pixar style is a good way to describe it. Old TF2, yeah. I love
Yeah.
it though.
Oh, someone even said that. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very
exactly.
captivating. Yeah, 80
Dude.
minutes of CGA is insane, but it's Valve, dude. They could do it. We could make some money. Imagine
Yeah,
how
Netflix
awesome that would be.
series.
Dude, I'm serious. MOBAs are having this problem with our audience skewing old. Multiple audience members asked me that at the Jungle Jam. You know, I spent a lot of time talking to fans. Multiple people said, "Hey, Zyori, what do we do about everybody that likes Dota getting old?" Like, what do you mean? They're like, well, think about it. All the young kids are playing Fortnite and all this other shit, and it's not even unique to Dota. One of the guys was somehow involved in like high school esports, and he said that like League of Legends, Dota, those kind of games aren't even in the conversation. He's like, those kids, like, it's not even like kids are like, oh, Dota's cool. I'd like to play that one day, but it's too hard. They're just like, I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm playing all this new fun shit like Fortnite. I'm like, well, I don't have a great answer to that. I don't necessarily think it's a huge problem because old people spend money, and money is really what drives the whole thing. And old people do have children, and those children, you know, fucking Illidan is what, Ake's kid or whatever. You know, there's a whole generation coming up. But it is definitely something of like, for those of us that are, quote, all in on Dota, that is an interesting demographic change to be aware of. You know, it's not uncommon for our talent to be in their 30s now.
Yeah, but it's good for us because the fact that our viewers are old means that it's not going to be weird when we're all the casters. Because I don't want to cast too much of 12-year-olds because 12-year-olds like beep boppity PewDiePie.
True.
They don't care about us. They don't want us,
That's
right? They want some younger motherfucker. So the older people get, we just get to keep hanging out.
That's actually
fine.
All right. Maybe you swayed me. I'm not worried anymore.
Eventually, Dota will be nothing but wine and cigars. That's how it's just going to be cast. That's the direction we're going.
All right. That's great. We've just got this like piece of history. And it's cool that so like WoW Classic has convinced me that technology has hit this point where the floor is high enough that stuff can last a really long time, right? Like WoW Classic's a super fucking old game and it's stupidly popular now and it's still pretty fun. I've been playing it. It's a good time, right? And it's an ancient IP and like keeping it authentic was part of the struggle. It was like for Blizzard to resist the temptation to add any of the modern convenience vehicles that are in retail World of Warcraft, right? So we're at this point where even if technology evolves, even if 10 years from now, everything's mobile in terms of a lot of new esports, I don't know how much that really matters. You know, like our tech is still good enough that it's not like Brood War where you go back and look at the original and go, Jesus Christ, this is hard to control, hard to watch.
Or Dota. Dota 1's like that.
Or Dota 1. Dota 2 is going to remain like consistently playable for a while. You know, it's sort of analogous to the jump from a 60 hertz monitor to 144 is huge. It's almost like night and day, but the jump from 144 to 244 it's a pretty small improvement, all things considered. You barely even notice the difference. I think game engines are sort of at a similar point.
Yeah, I mean,
so maybe it doesn't matter. We're gonna keep this thing rolling. Once kids are using those keyboards that have you seen those where it goes on your fingers and you type like this?
What?
They have a keyboard now where you wear it on your fingers and you make different gestures. Oh, I don't know. It's really hard to learn. That's the prize. It's like the stupidly steep learning curve. Like finger keyboard, it'll probably pop up.
Like
wearable
Googling
keyboard,
right
maybe.
now.
Seen it on Amazon.
You know, I actually just learned about vertical mice for the first time because of that Reddit thread on the Dota 2 subreddit. Have you ever seen a vertical mouse?
No.
So, like, instead of your hand being like this, like how I'm holding my mouse here, is this high enough for the camera? I can't see it. No, it's not. All right, instead of your hand being like this, it's like this, moving back and forth.
Oh.
So it's supposed to help with like carpal tunnel and shit.
More natural.
And I was like, I put my hand on my table like that, and I was moving around. And I was like, wow, if you got used to that, this feels so much better.
Yeah. So I linked the wearable keyboard thing. That's like a version of it at least.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did see this. Yeah, this is what came up when I Googled finger keyboard. What the fuck? How does this work?
Well, it's just like different hand gestures when you move it around to do inputs. But like, imagine if you taught a kid how to use that from like when they were young to get over the learning curve. The inputs could be so much better than using a manual input keyboard.
Wow, there's even a picture from ages 7 and up.
There you go.
Only $199.
LOL Boomer Podcast. Yeah, dude.
Boomers. What up, Zoomers? Yeah, it was the guy about the thread from the people who were playing Dota with a tablet drawing thing, which I thought was very interesting.
I mean, dude, you could play Classic WoW on your phone. Your phone could run WoW Classic. Isn't that
Does it work?
nuts?
Do they have it set up for that?
No, but like in terms
But
of
yeah, it
processing
easily
power and
could.
shit, like that's bananas. That's how far the technology has come. So I don't know, dude. I'm happy to be those old guys. I like the niche that we've got. I'll be playing Classic WoW. I'll be playing Dota 3. Dude, can we talk about Infamous?
Well, yeah, we can. I can give one story about Classic WoW because
Please.
he tweeted it anyway, so it's fine. Hold on, I need to I need to get the timestamps here. All right.
Oh, good.
Yeah, this is good. So we have the after. Oh god, I just scrolled right to it. So we have the after party. After party was perfect because it was right next to the hotel, like all good after parties are. And for once, the music wasn't stupidly loud. Thank you, Valve. That was amazing. I guess the TI ones are always good like that. You can always hear each other, which is great. Good
There's
food,
always
etc.
separation. Yeah.
Yep. Shout out Team Secret for bringing their new beer. So they had their beer there for free for everyone. It was a nice IPA. It was tasty. So the after party ends at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or something. I had left already because I had a shuttle at 8 a.m. So the first shuttle was, I believe, Rich and Fogg because they're both from New York.
Mm-hmm.
And Fogg had booked his flight back as early as possible to get back in time for Classic WoW.
Yep.
Because he'd be able to get home, land. He'd have like 2 hours or something, and then Classic WoW starting. And he also had a wedding to go to that day, too. So I wake up in the morning, and there's just a message from Rich that just says, "Yo, Fogg, what the fuck you doing? You're going to miss Classic WoW." It's like 10 minutes after their shuttle was supposed to leave.
Oh, no.
And so of course, everyone starts like memeing the chat. Everyone's just like, "Oh no, Fogg is dead. Where's Fogg? The classic Fogg. I'm not gonna drink too much. I'm only gonna be yeah." Anyway, so we're all just like, "Well, shit, Fogg fucked up." So then we come down. We got our shuttle. It's like me, Shiver, Owen, and Nahaz. And this was only half an hour after when Fogg was supposed to leave, and so there's no more messages from Fogg or from Rich. And we're like, "Oh, okay, Fogg must have made it, or else they would have been like asking questions and stuff, and like no one said like go to his room or anything. So Fogg must be there." We get to the airport, we eat, time passes by, and then 10:39 a.m. Oh my god, from Fogg. 10:39 p.m. This is all, of course, now local time. I missed my hit, which was a mistypo of flight. Oh my fucking god! To which everyone's so ruthless, right? Everyone's just like spamming stickers. Just you guys see that face of Cap? Everyone just spamming stickers at Fogg. Oh god. He slept through his alarms, and then he got really mad at Rich because he thought that Rich had ditched him. And then it turned out that they had banged on his door for 15 minutes and tried calling him for 15 minutes.
Damn, dude, he was out that hard.
He could not get up.
Damn.
So then poor Fogg, I mean, he tweeted that he missed his flight and everything, but he did get it all sorted. He did eventually get a flight. He got his way home. I haven't seen or heard from him since he got there, so I assume he's been playing Classic WoW and everything's fine. That's my assumption, at least. But my god, dude, it was a ruthless chat that morning because everyone is just like mocking Fogg. He got pretty mad.
Yeah.
So, we love you, Fogg, but nothing funnier than people missing their flights, dude.
It is true. Especially when it's in that kind of context where you know it's going to get taken care of. And like TI, where you know everyone's like getting paid. It's like, all right, worst case, you have to buy another flight. We all know you're going to get home. It's going to be fine. You just fucked yourself. It's like people can't resist the urge from being PC on panel for the last 2 weeks to just let loose when you're not like under the spotlight. Just be like, look at this fucking dumb bitch. He missed his flight.
That's basically
it feels
the
good because you
chat.
can't do that to anybody else.
I can't read these messages. Like these messages cannot be aired. But like we were all dying in the airport, just like reading through this. And it's like it's just a saga, dude. Like you see him go through every state of emotion. Oh, it's good.
Wow. Wow.
My favorite part was that while this was happening, and like Fogg's having his awful moments, at some point Grant just puts in, "Yo, so there's this guy in my flight. He went for the ultimate play. He took the middle seat on the side. You know how there's like 3 seats, 4 seats, 3 seats?
Yeah.
So this one guy, he's like looking through the seating, and Grant's like, this one guy just took the middle seat. So he's trying to get the play where he's going to get all 3 seats. So I took the window right next to him, even though there were like empty 3 rows behind. Grant just decided to fuck over this one dude. all while Fogg is having like a breakdown. And Grant's so pleased with himself. He's like, got him. Not getting past Grant with that one.
God, fucking Grant, dude. Grant needs to hire a hairstylist, though. Grant, my boy, I'm going to pull out the flamethrower here. I have talked to him about this hair before. I remember that one nameless event we did with show matches where he showed up to be side gunner and he just had like this afro. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what is the end goal with this? And he just said, I don't know. I keep forgetting to get a haircut. I'm like, well, here's a reminder, bitch. You're not on camera until you get that shit fixed. This event, like, he looked good in this picture that Slacks posted where he had it slicked back. Then there were some panels where it was like Fro Dodo.
There were some real mains, dude. He was a fucking lion. He was Mufasa.
It cracks me up, dude. It looks so out of place. I think when it's with other people like that, it works. But when you're next to like Sheever or like people that are like groomed really well, like Purge or something, it just you look like that. You look like the dude with the dreads. You know, it just you're like normal. What the fuck's going on over here? And it just distracts you from whatever he's saying. I'm not listening because I'm like, what? Don't they have a hair? How does she have a hairstylist and he doesn't? You just start asking yourself all these stupid questions.
Dude, he got makeup and hair just like everyone else.
What?
Someone was touching that hair.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there were some days where I wouldn't have, like, I hadn't seen Grant the whole day, and I like come down to the green room, we just like hadn't passed by, and the panel comes on, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
It was up there, dude. It was great.
That's so dude, I fucking love Grant. I can't wait.
I know.
This is a spoiler. I can't wait to have Grant at Midas Mode. I've informally invited him. I'm formally inviting him right now. He lives down the fucking road, so if he doesn't show up, it's over.
Yeah, he better come.
No excuses, Grant. I mean, it is literally like less than 20 minutes away from his house. It couldn't be closer.
Yeah, and I mean, isn't it the play for Grant just to buy a ticket and just come though, and just be a fucking thorn in our side and yell shit from the audience? That's what I would do.
Just show up and be an unpaid heckler. Actually, turn down the talent fee and be like, "Nope, I want no responsibility. I'm just here to instill chaos. I'm here for the community."
Grant thing.
That would be fucking great.
He starts booing us. Imagine getting booed at Midas Mode. That'd be so good.
So I don't know if EG is going to be able to win this one. Boo! You fucking suck. Oh, Jesus Christ. Wow. So that was great. I do want to talk about Infamous though. Maybe a good way to kind of start rounding things out, dude. What a fucking run from that squad, dude.
Yeah, dude. Bracket breakers. A little bit there.
Top 8. What did they secure? Was it 850K?
I don't know what the number was. That sounds about right, though.
So they were 7th, 8th, and it was 858,000, 2.5%.
Wow.
Same slot as Royal Never Give Up. Historic run. No South American team has ever gone that far on the main stage before. So speaks well for the region. I guess I also do want to talk about NIP a little bit at some point because they had the opposite effect. They were bottom place.
Yeah, nice try, Europe. Oh, wow. Last 2 in the tournament. Okay, yeah, first and second, too. But also last.
True.
Got him.
That's the European sandwich right there.
Yeah, that's right.
So this Infamous squad, again, worth reiterating, this group of players has jumped squads a lot, so it's a little bit hard to follow, but they played in 2 minors in a row before TI. At Dota Pit, they were Team Majestic, which was basically a player-formed org that broke up after that event. They did a small shuffle and changed 2 players, I think. I believe that was when they picked up Whisper and Stinger. Then they played in the next one. That was... What minor was that? Oh, shoot. What was the last
After Dota Pit? Wasn't it like another Star Ladder or something?
Star Ladder. I think it was a Star Ladder. So they played in that as well under the tag Onvorgesa. That was the cat cheeseburger thing that honestly I think they should have stuck with. That was a dank meme. That would have been a great way to make headlines as a team. So, but that was sort of like obviously just a joke team, and they were leveraging that to try to sign with a real org. Then they end up qualifying for the international, kind of despite the odds, and Infamous picks them up. So they play as Infamous for the tournament. They signed on looks like July 1st for Infamous. So was that was right
before quals.
Right before the qualifiers. Okay.
Yeah, they played as Infamous during the quals.
They played as Infamous during the qualifiers. Okay, got it. So immediately after TI, they ditched the org. 8/29, yesterday's the official leave date. Basically, they get back to South America and say, "Sweet, thanks for the cash. Fuck you." And then they peace out.
Makes sense, right?
Does it?
I think so. I mean, I assume the contract was just for TI, and there's no way Infamous is going to field more than pretty much any other org, I would guess. I guess I don't know that much about Infamous's financial structure, but I would think that Complexity, for example, would pay more.
Right.
From what I've heard, Complexity is quite generous.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that was what someone replied to my tweet with. Well, now the players are just worth more, and there's like a cost mismatch, so Infamous can't afford them. That might be true. I don't know the exact context. It just makes me wonder because I think there's still room for better orgs to have a place in South America, and I think the existing orgs have a disproportionate share of the paradigm in terms of being able to offer players relatively shitty deals with really low salaries and I still kind of benefit with prize winnings. I mean, I've heard that it's not unheard of for a South American org, if a team wants to sign them, offer like 50% of their prize money go to the org. We're talking might have lost it. We're talking like $500 a month salary in exchange for 50% of all prize earnings.
Yeah, that's a lot. Hopefully that wasn't there for TI.
No, I can promise you 100% it was not 50%, but I do also know that Infamous did take a percentage of their TI prize winnings. I will not reveal the number. It is substantially lower than 50, but as kind of like a general, like if we had a team, we went to Infamous or one of the other orgs and said, "Hey, what's the deal?" That's like kind of their standard. They'll start there, 50%. Bananas. So it is a little bit of a strange equation, though, because Complexity is a North American org. So if you paid those players $1,000 a month USD salary, that's extremely low compared to tier 1 global Dota teams like Secret or EG or these other giant Liquid, OG, these giant brands. They get massive salaries compared to that. But USD goes a long way in South America. Bowie told me that the money that those players won from TI, he said they could live in South America for 10 years easily if they were somewhat responsible with their spending.
Yeah, that sounds right. I would agree with that. Right.
So it is interesting. So like Complexity, for example, let's say they're interested in this team. Do you offer them $5,000 a month salary like you would another tier 1 team? Or do you say, hey, you guys live in South America, how's $1,000 a month?
Does that reflect want NA players, though, right? That's the whole thing with Complexity. There's no way they're going to allow some team to live not in their whole setup.
True. Okay, so that's true. But I guess my broader question is, like, does it reflect poorly on an organization to pay comparatively low salaries if that is still way above what the players would expect given their cost of living? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, is that... Uh-oh.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm good. Did I see the tweet from the Cole manager? It was a yikes. I didn't. Ooh, that sounds juicy.
Well, from the manager, or are you talking about the Jason Lake tweet about how the results won't stand and they're looking for tier 1 players and that people should tweet at him? Is that the one you're talking about?
Oh, really? He said something like that? I didn't see that.
You didn't? All right, well, because he's not the manager, but I can probably find that Jason Lake tweet. It's pretty... Jason Lake... Somebody link it. I know you guys can find it better than I can. Oh, here... Dude, you Google Jason Lake, it's the fucking first hit. This tweet went viral, man. I love our players as individuals, but these results won't be tolerated. If you're a Tier 1 player looking for a fresh start at the best facility in the world, hit me up. I'll pay your buyout and give you the world's highest salaries. Let's build a juggernaut. Spread the word. First response is sheep-sticked. Team Secret already tried this strat, and then what's that emoji? Oh, some smug covering your thing. And then Scant comes in with the poke, and their results have been better than Cull's, no? Slam!
Got him.
Pretty dank thread. But, yeah, a lot of traction on that. This was the one that I think Black replied to and a bunch of other players.
Wow. And it was, I assume he meant Dota, obviously, but...
I don't know. I think, was there something with Counter-Strike going on at the same time? It might have actually been more about another game than Dota. I actually don't know. I think it was for CSGO. But
still, though,
the timing worked for both because it was very relevant to Complexity's Dota results as well. And it seemed like most of the initial replies were from the Dota community. So take that for...
He's getting them from Dota and from CS, dude. This whole thread is just both sides of it. I mean, probably right in both regards, right? Like, his team didn't even make TI, and he pays some of the highest salaries in Dota. I mean, I have heard some of the salary numbers from Cole, and I was very surprised. They pay very well.
I mean, they've got major backing, dude. They're doing they are real sports.
They're the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, they should get their shit together. But yeah, I guess Kyle's going back. He'll be able to handle it, and it'll be fine. Kyle will just carry, right? That is crazy. They blew up that roster though, because I don't know what you do now.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Like, where do you go from there if you're looking for a Dota team? I guess you try and get one of these NA stacks, but
I don't know. I really don't.
I'm really curious what zfreek's gonna do.
Yeah.
He's the one that I'm most curious about, for sure.
I mean, a lot of people for a long time said zfreek was like the gold star of that team that was sort of holding it together, and that if he wanted to, he would have a lot of options if he looked outside of the Complexity wheelhouse. So I think there's a lot of respect there. He's always been a unique one because I think back in the day, like, he didn't play solo queue, right? Wasn't he notorious for being one of the players that basically never pubbed?
Yeah.
So he has this really good reputation, but at the same time, there is a huge community around the tier one pub scene, so to speak, right? You hear players talk about it a lot. So it'd be pretty interesting.
He's like 3 years too late to make this jump, though. His stock was so much more valuable.
I would agree.
But,
I'm not sure exactly
I hope it works out for him.
Where he falls on the radar.
There's I don't know, I've been keeping up with the shuffle talk, you know, on the subreddit. It's a really nice wiki there. If you guys haven't got there, I'll drop the hot link once it loads for me. There we go. This is the all things shuffle. It's like a wiki page, so they just constantly update it. It's sticky to the top of the subreddit.
That's cool.
The only like big news so far is really that EE has his new team, which is like EE, Brile, Moomeander, Snaking, and Owie. That's pretty cool, because Owie was talking about maybe playing again, so it looks like that will be the plan.
Well, so isn't that part of the new Envy squad?
What do you mean? That is Envy's squad. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. And then Chaos has a bunch of questions too. Like Milan has looking for team up, and they were all, obviously chatting a bunch. You've heard the rumors of like Crit and Ramsey's talking together if they're gonna be on a team together. And of course, like the NA stack with like potentially Yawar and then maybe Sumail. Who knows? Pretty good. I don't have any juicy deets though, guys. I can't even really help you. Everything that I know is pretty much either leaked somewhere or in these announcements.
Yeah, I'm really bad at this stage of the season. I'm always in that. I always feel like it's sort of like the NFL draft. Like, I don't really care. Read it in the news the next day and get all the key details. I don't want to waste my brain space on rumors because then I get even more confused. I just want to know what the final tally is so I can start memorizing the new rosters.
You get the leaked patch notes and get confused.
Yeah. It's rough, dude. I can't keep it all straight even as it is. I hate the post shuffle when I'm like, okay, newbie. That's now forward. Okay, team forward. That's MSS. Like, oh god, I can barely remember it now. I've been watching these teams all season. It changes and I'm just fucked.
I was fiending the major locations. That was That was my goal at the after party. I was like, I want to know where the fuck we're going next year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys probably already saw, but there will be an NA land this year.
I
It's
heard.
hype. The ESL guy tweeted they are coming to NA. I don't know what capacity. I don't know if it's a major or an ESL 1 or a minor or whatever.
So, but it better
there
call
will
Moonduck.
be an NA land, dude.
Let's do it.
Yeah, hype.
Yeah.
I hope it's Canada. I assumed it's the U.S., but I don't actually know. My assumption will be East Coast.
I'm pretty sure U.S. I would also assume East Coast. I think those are two very, very
especially when
safe
it's ESL. I guess they have offices. Do they have LA offices still?
They do have offices in Burbank, but they seem to really like the East Coast in terms of doing actual events. So if it's not New York, I don't know where, but they seem to really like the whole concept around doing events there with a giant population. I'm super excited for the Stockholm TI-10. I love Sweden.
Dude.
Perfect country.
No Jungle Jam next year. Screw that. You're coming to Sweden.
Dude, that's what I said. I was like, gang, not only do the time zones make it a bitch, I am going to Sweden 100%. I'm booking that shit as soon as possible. No, I think it's going to be awesome. Like, very limited visa issues. It's a country that really, quote, gets it in terms of esports. They've got some great infrastructure, really good internet. The arena it's going to be in, I don't know if that's been posted, but I heard rumors, and it's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's posted.
It's posted.
The big globe.
Globen.
Yeah.
So it's basically called the Globe. In Sweden, N just is the article, and it gets attached to the word. So Globen means translates to the globe. So it's like saying ATM machine if you say the Globen. Just FYI, free tips for all y'all out there that are excited about.
Wow, thank you. That is a handy tip to not look like an idiot.
Yeah. And what's cool too is so the hotel that is attached to Globen is often where we stay for Dream League stuff. I've stayed in that hotel like 2 or 3 times. It's right across from Gulmersplan, which is the connection to where the subways and shit all connect, buses and all that shit, public transit. So it's super accessible, really cool. And in the hotel where they have the breakfast, there's like a seating line with just open windows, and you can watch them break down and set up in the arena for whatever is coming up next or whatever it is. So you kind of get this intimate feel where you're like watching the event get set up. It's super fucking cool, dude. Heart of Sweden, 10 out of 10. Couldn't be more excited.
I've never been to Sweden, so I'm hoping to change that.
Dude, the summers are beautiful too. It might be hot as fuck because they don't have air conditioning anywhere. And like, what was it? Last summer, I was there for that crazy heat wave, and dude, it was toasty. I mean, I was like dripping sweat using the computer. So that is one potential concern. I don't know if Globen has air conditioning.
I'm sure they'll figure something out.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You ever see all those Euros tweeting about the heat waves because they don't believe in AC, dude? It's cold like 99% of the year. So like, oh, this is a waste of money.
Welcome to Canada, dude. I mean, that's pretty much everyone here is.
Yeah, you know the
we don't believe in that bullshit. I'll suffer for my month and a half. Then the heat turns back on anyway, you know? Yeah, we're just over the hump here now, but fuck. Those are some dark days.
Yeah, dude. It's rough. I mean, it's been a rough summer for us here, too. I felt like such a dick telling all the talent, like, guys, it's probably going to be really cold in the venue because it'll be air conditioned like fuck, so bring shorts. It was hot as fuck. And some of the talent only brought like 2 pairs of shorts. It was super hot. It was hot outside, too. Like, it was peak Colorado summer. Yeah, I fucked up, but
my crowning achievement. I held the Aegis.
No
actually.
way.
I did.
Dude.
That was exciting. Yeah, because Synderen was supposed to be at the late game for the final nights. That was our, the post game show, whatever, right, in the bar. And on the last day, Synderen's like, yeah, but guys, I kind of have to go to the after party right away because I need to fiend. I need to make a team. So Synderen wanted to ditch. So I told Synderen I would go. So like the second the celebration ended and OG were off the stage, I was on the closing panel. Panel ends. I basically high five Slacks and Purge. We go, Moonduck, Moonduck, Moonduck. And then we grabbed Owen and said, former Moonduck, former Moonduck, former Moonduck. And then I got on a bus and went to the late game. But yeah, so OG showed up and they were obviously very excited. Gave him a hug and everything. And then Jerax looks at me, he goes, do you want to hold it? I was like, yes. Do I want to hold it? Of course I want to hold it. That was pretty cool.
That's badass, dude. Fucking Jerax. Shout out to
heavy,
him.
Dude.
He's so nice. I love that team so much, dude. They're all so friendly.
It could not be a better group of guys, frankly. Like, they're all, it's weird. Like, they're excited to see me. I'm just like, and they're like offering me hugs. I'm like, what the fuck? You just hello?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're all such nice guys.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I shot No Tail a DM on Twitter. I was like, dude, I'm sure your inbox is blown up, but fucking goddamn, that's so sick. What an achievement, dude. I want to interview Thompson again. So I just looked at it. I interviewed Thompson at TI8 on press day. If you
I
remember.
remember.
So if you Google Thompson interview, it's only shit from TI8. This dude is actually a silent enigma. What do we need to do to get Thompson on this podcast, dude? I want a Thompson podcast.
There's no way.
Dude, work your Trent Pax magic.
That doesn't sound like a good plan.
He follows you on Twitter, dude. Come on. Get at it. Get out there. Flex those muscles, dude. We need to learn more about. He's fucking won 2 TIs. His history is insane. Let me pull up his Wikipedia real quick. Like, he is another one of these. Look at his fucking history. It's SFT Esports. He was on that team for 6 weeks. Then he was on team 5 anchors, no captain. He was on that team for 4 months. And then had a 3-month gap, and then joined OG June 4th, 2018. And since then, this motherfucker's won 2 internationals.
Dude, he follows Slacks. Damn it.
That's so fucking insane, dude. He's been on basically one team ever, and since he joined, they have just been destroying on the main stage. And you even look at his results, it's like major 5th to 6th, major 5th to 6th, 3rd, 7th to 8th, 7th to 8th. There's all these kind of like finishes, and then you just got the first at the 2 events that matter more than anything else by like orders of magnitude, fucking plural. Absolutely insane. Thompson is like, no one's ever gonna top that, dude. I can't imagine anyone topping that 0 to full throttle.
I just want them to do it again. I want them to win it in Sweden, dude. Wouldn't that be wild? Have a fucking 3-peat when we thought like the 2-peat was crazy. That's what I'm into.
The 3-peat.
Yeah, man.
I can't even consider it, dude. There's no way.
Can't you at this point? They're so good.
Yeah, I don't know. Wow, what a wild season this is going to be. Did this just save Dota, dude? Did this storyline actually save Dota?
LGD winning would have saved Dota.
Wow.
This is the next best thing. Maybe. This is the second best thing is OG winning. But I really, really wanted LGD to win TI because then it would have been like TI 10 would have been like the almost guaranteed first time someone wins it twice, ultimate hype. But this is by far the next best thing is OG getting the 2-time is just ridiculous.
When you say 2-time, I always think of Dr. Disrespect. Wasn't that his line? Is that the 2-time blockbuster champion?
The 2-time.
You're playing with the 2-time.
Yeah, the Ice Frog retweet was fucking dank. That was like the sickest thing I've ever seen. That guy's a genius.
Wait, let me see it.
He literally he didn't tweet his congratulations. He just retweeted his congratulations from TI8. How good is that?
Oh shit, dude. Wow.
He's big brain, man.
That is such an Ice Frog. I didn't even notice that. You're right. He just retweeted Ice Frog's Twitter feed right now is just, there you go. You can see it. Congratulations, OG TI8. Retweet the same one. That is so and then before that, a Ben Merlini Woo retweet. Wow. I'm gonna like that. That's some fucking value. Congratulations, Merlini. You got an Ice Frog retweet. That's like a fucking feat of strength right there. Confirmed Thompson does not follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, same. Sorry, guys. Just tell Slacks. He follows Slacks, OD Pixel, Sheever, Red Eye.
Well, you're in with that crowd, dude. Fucking get Owen on it. Let's do a quadcast, dude. Let's get Owen and Thompson in. We'll go all together. I'm in.
I don't know if I can handle that. I don't think I'm ready for that.
All right.
I'm gonna be real.
Right. Whew. Okay. Well, anything else? Any other thoughts to wrap up the International 9?
Well, pardon me for a moment.
Oh. I thought that was going to lead into something, but it is just a real-life phone call here. All right. Well.
Hey there.
What's the good word?
Oh, nothing. It's just the word. Let me just put you on hold for a second.
All good.
Either you or my wife getting put on hold. I felt like you could handle it.
Yeah, that's my MO, dude. But yeah, I guess to kind of round out like the administrative stuff, we are now all hands on deck for Midas mode. This is like the final countdown. It starts in less than a month.
A lot to do.
A lot to do. On all fronts, we're still signing sponsors, but the ones that we have are making the dream work. So keep an eye on the social media, both Moonduck and Slacks, because we have a lot more announcements coming. We appreciate all the support and the hype around the event. Still tickets available. Those weekend passes are selling out quick. So if you want to come for like kind of the grand finals aspect, those 2 days are going to be big. Get those tickets, I would say sooner rather than later. VIP might have sold out already because we did open up a few more the other day, and I think there were less than 10 left last time I looked. So get on it. Still quite a few weekday passes available. Show up on the weekdays. Come hang out with us. You know, folks, on those days, it's very intimate. And intimate means you actually get to hang out with the talent. You actually get to chat with people.
Yeah, I'm looking to play some Smash. I want to play some Dota in-houses.
Dude, that's the great thing about this venue. There are PCs. Yeah. So there are passes that include PC access. So those are a pretty good deal. You're just locked in with your entry. And also for most of the days, if you just want to play on a PC, you can absolutely just rent time to do stuff, assuming that there's going to be availability. I'm sure that they'll be in hot demand. But like Trent said, there's consoles, there's VR. Like the venue's tricked out with all that kind of shit. So I'm excited to play some Smash too, but I got bodied by Eosin and Brax at this event. Eosin said his MMR was like 2K, and I told him I didn't know what my MMR was, but 1500 or 2K sounded good, and we played one round, and he said, I think your MMR is less than 500. So that was...
no.
That was a real reality check. But, you know, it's hard to judge, to evaluate yourself.
All right, well, I'll give you the level up. In Colorado, it'll be fine. It's so soon. Oh my god, it's so soon.
Yeah, dude, you're coming to Colorado.
I was like looking at the calendar, and I was just like, "Oh god, we have a land soon." I feel like TI, you're supposed to rest, but time to buckle down and get some shit done.
Yeah, well, we'll see what events we get invited to after that. I haven't been invited to any events on the next DPC circuit, so who knows?
I don't think anyone has.
Midas mode might be the storm, and then the quiet will come after.
That's true.
All right.
Then you go to New Zealand, right? But that's for another time.
Oh, yes. New Zealand. That's in November, though. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, we'll talk Path of Exile, dude. We'll talk about that later. I got WoW Classic to grind, bud, so I'm busy.
Okay, yeah.
I'm swamped.
Get on that.
White
Are you
Mane
gonna
Horde.
stream it? Can I come watch while I work on stuff?
Yeah? Should I haven't streamed any of my WoW playing. I'm afraid of being judged.
Don't you need their help?
Dude, well, I have a guy that I'm following. Richard slammed me hard. I got it on some Twitter. I told him I'm level 22. He replied, "What the fuck are you doing? Get off of Twitter. You're scum." So get to level 35 today, or I don't respect you anymore. Richard, please. I'm not hardcore. Fuck you, Pop-Tart. All right, gang, we're done. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Support Rivalry.com. They support us. Big hearts. We'll see you next time.